saying when he first went to AFL system, he said his body was like, obviously his body's sore, but he didn't quite understand how mentally draining, because out of all the trainings, you've got the trainings, but you've got the meetings and all that sort of, you're learning all the structures, you're learning the tactics.
Yep.
That was draining him at the end. And then he said he ended up retiring when he was 21 because he's like, mentally, I had enough.
Yeah.
Is that kind of similar when you first moved over? You kind of had you experienced similar?
Yes,
I guess?
very similar. I guess probably the first thing was that I can't, not that I got thrown into the deep end as such, but I'd only experienced kind of AHL level for a couple of years, which is back then it was the Australian Hockey League. So I played in 2009 and 2010 and then moved to Perth in 2011 on a scholarship. So I hadn't had probably the exposure that I needed to be where I thought I was. I moved over and made my debut when things were going really well in 2011, and then I was dropped in 2012 from the squad completely. So that was a bit of a I guess it was at the time. Looking back, it was definitely the correct decision by the coaching staff. I thought I was flying and I was going away with the group and playing and thought everything was handy and going really well, and then all of a sudden I was dropped, and it was kind of a bit of a reality check to be like, I looking back, I really needed that, to bit of a kick in the bum to say like, we've put you in this situation, but you haven't performed, and this is what happened in elite sports, and you've got to work your way back into it. And it's certainly from that point, it was mentally I was like, I don't know if I can do this. It was a year of like you said, there's meetings. The game is so much faster even at training than what it is at AHL or club hockey, what I was playing back in Brizzy, and things were going, for myself, I thought they were going right, but obviously they weren't. So it was, a bit of a reality check back then, and certainly needed, I think. And making that decision I could have easily packed up and moved back to Brizzy and just played in the comp there and potentially tried to work my way back through the AHL system, but I decided to stay in Perth and work my way back through club hockey in Perth. It's a little bit helpful with the selectors and the coaching staff being in Perth. They can watch your club games and things like that. Not that they were necessarily watching myself in particular, but they had to still watch the national players play, and I just happened to be playing in the competition that they did, and worked my way back through and ended up getting back into the squad in 13. So
it was a year off.
So had a year off away from the group. Fortunately enough, at that time, there was probably about 10 guys that had moved interstate to play in Perth, and we were all in the same situation. So we actually were thrown into a development group, which we trained on our own. There was about 10 of us, and we trained away from the senior team, but as a group. And at that time, it was the oldest guy would have been like 25 or 26. So it was quite a young group, but we still all had that burning desire to play for the Kookaburras again. A few guys had, a few guys hadn't, but we all wanted the same end goal, as to be in the senior squad. And nearly half, probably all of us have in that group have now played for Australia at some point in time from that 2012 group to now. So which is a pretty cool thing to look back at. But it was certainly, I didn't have any friends or close friends at the time. Sure. My partner, wife now, but she'd moved over. So we were kind of, left in a little bit of a limbo. No family. We moved all the way across Australia to chase this dream, and it was there and then was taken away. So it was quite difficult at the time.
Was there a bit of, when you got the notice that you were dropped, there was a bit of proving someone else wrong, that made you train harder? Did it fuel the fire?
Definitely. Thinking back, that was probably and it sounds a little bit petty, but that was it. It was to prove the coaching staff that they had made the wrong decision as such, to leave me out of the group. And fortunately, I had a really, really good year. Again, coming back to Vic Park, they supported me through that time, and I actually, with another player from Vic Park, Ian Bircher, we won the best and fairest from the same club, which has never been done before. So we both, for the club season that year, me and him from the same club, got the most votes out of the competition and won the best and fairest, which is something I think we worked out that maybe one of the waffle teams had done it a long time ago, but it's the only time in sport we could find that in Perth that two guys from the same team had won the best and fairest medal. So I had a really good year, and luckily enough was able to work my way back in. And
was there when you got released, was there a support network that kind of, you can go do your own, I guess, like strength and conditioning or fitness sort of stuff? Were you able to go back to the State Institute at that time, or? Well,
luckily enough, this development group, we kind of worked out a way, and with the help of Hockey Australia, we worked out a way to be able to still train at a pretty high level away from the national group. So they were doing their thing, and we were able to get some turf time. We were able to go to a gym on our own as that group. Not so much with waist at the time, but we made a Kate Starr, who's next Hockey-Roo. I think she now works as Freo, the Freo AFLW team. She was our strength and conditioning coach during that period.
Oh, there you go.
She had a gym, I believe it was in Osmond Park at the time, and like this shed, and it was awesome. Like we would rock up. It was during summer. It was 50 degrees in this shed, and we were just sweating out like hard sessions, and she was putting us through our paces, and it was just a real good way of being able to stay really fit, stay really close within the hockey, I guess, circle as such, playing with a group of guys, like I said before, that were really determined to get back into or to make it for the first time into that senior group, and having a good coaching. We had Craig Victory, who was ex-Kookaburra, coaching us. Dibsy, who is again, he was running the sessions as well when he could. So we had a really good group around, and people that were pushing us as well as not just going, go and just see you, or maybe good luck to yourself kind of thing. So we made the most of that, and like I said before, I think the 10 of us have now played a game for Australia, which is pretty cool.
You were quite young at the time, was that correct?
Yeah, I would have been 20, I think, at the time, 20, 21.
So you would have been younger when you first played?
Yeah, so I debuted, I think I was, 19, nearly turning 20, so just turned 19. Oh, sorry, just about to turn 20, yeah.
Did you feel that was too young, possibly?
Potentially, potentially. Again, probably looking back at the games that I played during that span, I might have played 20, 25 games before I was dropped, and wow. Yeah, I think so. I think I probably just didn't have the experience behind me as such, how fast the game was. I think that was where it threw me a little bit. Looking back, the game was just unbelievably quick. How fast these guys, I was playing with like Jamie, who'd been around for long then, and like best player in the world, playing against like Turned Neuer, guys from Holland who are just world-class athletes, and then there's this young 19-year-old running around a little bit with his head like a chicken with his head cut off, I guess. And then probably took me again, even start of 13 was how can I best fit into this team? I might not be like Jamie ever, and I never will be, but how can I make myself a player and to where I need to be for this group, and not try and be like anyone else, be myself, I guess, was the big takeaway I took from that kind of stage of my life.
For sure. What did you do when you got back into the team? Was there was it communicated to you what you needed to do to get back?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And that was I remember Rick Charlesworth was the coach at the time, and he was really good for myself, and the way he explained it, there's a player that was playing at the time, Des Abbott, who this big, strong striker who was unbelievably at scoring goals, could hit a ball at 200 k's an hour, just an unbelievable talent of hockey. And Rick pretty much said the same thing, Jake, you're never ever going to be a Des Abbott. You're never ever going to be a Glenn Turner, who was around at the same time. These big, huge body athletes that I just am not, and I'm still not. I've tried at the gym for 11 years, and I don't think I've put on any kind of muscle. So I was never ever going to be someone like that who was being able to get in front of a guy and muscle a guy out. So I had to work out how I could fit into the team, and I did a lot of work on my speed and change of direction and my agility and getting in behind and making really short, sharp leads within inside the circle, or getting on the far post, diving. Like you can see my knees, they're pretty much just like there's no skin left on them. Anytime I could fall over on your floor and they'd bleed kind of thing. So I had to make the best situation for myself. And I think I worked that out quite quickly and and that held me in good stead going forward from 13, and I've been in the squad ever since. So I was really lucky with that